Okay.
Hi. We're going live again, Robin.
You sure? If this doesn't work, I quit. I'm out of here.
Yeah, if it doesn't work this time, we're done. So since we had all kinds of wonderful technical issues with our first attempts at this, why don't I start?
There's nobody there. You're not talking to anybody, so.
Well, it'll be on a recording now,
Okay.
right? Because people can watch it later.
Okay.
I'll start all over again. Hi, welcome to the TSG live webcast for October 20th of 2018. My name is John, and I'm sitting here with Robin.
Hello again.
Who's been roped into this because you're like the backup guy.
Yeah.
Nobody else would come, so we had to resort to second string.
He had to stoop that low. Second, maybe third or fourth string, probably.
The water boy.
Yeah.
But hey, you have something cool to put the water in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Look what Robin got today. We'll show him. Look at that. He's part of the TSG train crew. Isn't that cool? Anyway.
He spares no expense for the people who do this work.
Yeah. Anybody that helps, man. I appreciate that. Anyway, we're here from the SBHRS. We're in the boardroom now. And a little backstory in case you're seeing this for the first time, because I'm probably going to just delete the other 2 live streams that we attempted. We started out coming from the business car that's sitting outside next to the deck out here by the tracks. And I think it must have been because of the metal car.
We don't have Wi-Fi officially hooked up in the rail car yet. So
yeah,
we need to do that for things like this.
Yeah. So we decided after a couple of iterations of technical issues to come inside where we usually do this from, where the Wi-Fi is good and we know it is. And now we're coming to you live again. And
we just scared most people away. There's only 4 people now.
That's okay. I'm hoping that it'll fill back in because I've been talking about going live for the first time scheduled on a Saturday for a while. So here we are, and we're trying this again. I'm turning on my phone so that we can monitor the stream. So if it goes wonky again, I will know live. I don't think that'll happen though, because we've done this before inside. Anyway, we were talking a little bit about the fall open house that's going to happen.
Okay.
You're very rehearsed now because you've already talked about it once, Robin.
Twice, remember?
Well, twice, once.
Okay, basically,
track?
November 3rd and 4th, we're having our twice a year open house at the depot. We typically have one in roughly the second weekend of April, depending on when Easter falls. And then we have one almost always the first weekend in November. This is our main fundraiser here at the depot. We have both the N scale and HO scale layouts up and running with lots of trains running, things like that. We also have our company store where we sell all the stuff that gets donated to us, and that's how we fund what we're doing here at the depot. And we also have a all-day lunch counter working where we sell hot dogs, and I think we're going to have barbecue pork sandwiches and sodas.
World famous.
World famous?
Yeah.
What's famous?
So world famous chili dogs and pulled pork sandwiches.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay. They're good. And
that's why they're world famous.
Yeah. And then we'll be we sell food for people who want something to eat while they're viewing the stuff. Mm-hmm. Also during the open house, the tower, the Santa Clara interlocking tower will be open and running. Are we well selling bananas? Yes, we'll be selling bananas. We'll get some fruit, all that sort of stuff. I'm reading some of the comments coming in.
Yeah, maybe ignore the ones from Echo because that's Owen out here messing with us.
Yeah. So the interlocking tower will be open. Typically, I don't know the exact hours it's open off the top of my head, but it's open in the afternoons, both Saturday and Sunday. This open house is the only time we actually charge admission here at the depot, and that's just because it's our fundraiser, but it's cheap. It's $5 per adult, and anyone under 18 is free. And
what if you act like a child?
You mean like you?
Then can I get in free?
No, for you, we charge extra,
right?
Yeah.
I knew that.
Yeah. To have to put up with you. I don't know. I should be charging you to be sitting here on this screen, view.
I was talking to your agent before we went on.
Yeah. Right. But
well,
okay.
I'm his agent, so
Oops.
Yeah, I can't censor these live things, Robin.
Oh, okay.
He said shoot.
Yes, shoot. Yes, right. That's what I said.
Yeah, the OO was silent though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was different.
Why do you even bother to do this? This is crazy.
Rated PG-13.
Yeah. But we have the open house coming. We've gotten a lot of donations of N scale and HO scale recently, so right. that stuff will be there for sale. We do get some O scale and some other scales now and then. I have no idea what all we're going to have this time, but I do know we've gotten a bunch of N scale and a bunch of HO recently.
Right.
So that'll be sold. Plus buildings, kits, cars, engines, all that sort of stuff.
Can I say something?
No.
Last time, I'm going to say it anyway. Yeah. Hold on, let me talk to your agent. Yeah, you can say something. Okay. Your agent said it's okay. I just want to interject real quick because last time there was so much in the company store, which is the stuff that gets donated and then sold, that it overflowed into the boardroom here. So there was a lot of stuff.
Yes.
So, and my understanding was that, and I don't remember who told me this. It might have been Bill, but I overheard somewhere here that there was a lot of N scale stuff that was donated that's going to be sold at this particular store. And
isn't that what I just said?
Well, they were talking about putting it in here. Like they might have HO out there.
Okay, that's fine. Typically, I'm the one who runs the N scale sale in here.
Okay.
Except
maybe
that
you told me.
But I'm responsible for doing the all day lunch, so I can't do both. I'm not a miracle worker.
Thought you were though. Okay. Well, he's a good guy no matter what.
Okay.
Just not a miracle worker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt like that. I just thought I heard that and I was excited about the fact that there was supposed to be a lot of N scale stuff.
There is.
Because I do N scale.
Yeah. So. I think it's well worth coming down to see. Saturdays in particular get pretty crowded. Mm-hmm. Sundays are not so bad as terms of seeing stuff, but if you want the best stuff to buy, come Saturday because a lot of it goes on Saturdays.
Early Saturday.
Yeah.
Right? That means 10 a.m. It opens at 10.
We open at 10 and we close at 5 on Saturdays and we close at 4 on Sundays.
Right. 10 to 5 and 10 to 4.
Yes.
Respectively.
Very
cool.
And it's a good event.
Sure.
The rail car, I forgot to mention that. The rail car will also be open for tours and people talking about it. So you can come see it. We've made a lot of progress on the interior of the rail car. We've got a lot of wood in place and it's worth seeing. I don't know whether to describe the history of it and all that sort of stuff at this point or not.
Well, it's a historic piece of rail equipment.
Right.
And if you come to the open house, somebody will be available who can tell you about that stuff.
Yes.
And it's a work in progress being restored, which you're also in charge of, right?
Yes, I happen to be in charge of that too.
Robin does everything here, it seems like.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And even we're doing a major addition on the N scale of a logging scene. There'll be a mountain with switchbacks going up it. There'll be a sawmill, a small town, a single stall engine house for the shays. That'll be on there and stuff. And Wiley got me started on it. He's sort of the instigator of doing addition, and I've sort of taken over whether I wanted to or not. The building of at least the main scenery part, and Wiley, of course, will do a lot of the electrical controls and that stuff.
Sure, he's been doing a lot of work on the layouts for lighting things.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of lighting stuff. He does great work in that area and stuff. what I enjoy most of modeling is the building the scenes. And so I'm at my, whatever you call the term, but I'm really enjoying what I'm doing on this new addition to it. So that's working out good.
Yeah, it's in your wheelhouse.
Yes.
I think is one of the current buzzwords. People say that it's in his wheelhouse. That's what he's good at.
Yeah.
So, and one of the cool things I just want to mention about having, a group of people like what's here is that everybody's good at something.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be good at everything. You just get the people who are good at specific stuff to do those things.
And then we need people. I'd be glad to teach people how to do what I'm doing. I see a question that says, what is the historic rail car? So I'll basically.
Yeah, this person was asking if it was the RDC. The RDC
no, it's not RDC. No.
The RDC is in Woodland. We're in Santa Clara.
Yes.
So please.
Yeah, okay.
Please.
The historic rail car is a car that was built in 1912 for the Oregon Washington Railroad and Navigation Company. At that point, it was a open-end observation passenger car. But 10 years later, in 1922, it was converted to a business car for the OWRN. And a business car is basically a rolling office. Back then, that's how they conducted railroad business. The car would be transported to a given station where they would work with the local businessmen about getting more railroad traffic and whatever it be, produce or fruit or whatever it might be. And then after business conducted, another engine would come up and hook it onto another train and take it up to the next stop and park it there and do their business. The car was donated to us in June of 2009, and we are slowly working on restoring the interior. It was in pretty sad shape. All the steel on the outside, the lower half was all rusted out. The person who acquired it, he started restoring the exterior, but when he donated to us, the interior was not really in start. And so we're working on restoring the interior to it. One thing we recently had done was we had a new coating put on the roof because it was leaking, and that's how part of it got destroyed, because the roof leaked. But hopefully it's no longer leaking. And
leaks are bad news for equipment.
So, unfortunately, we do not have any pictures of what the interior looked like as a business car. The only pictures we've been able to find of this car was back during World War II. It was loaned to the American Red Cross, and they used it as a blood drive car. But that's the only exterior picture we even have of it when it was still in service.
Right.
If anybody happens to have any pictures of it, it was originally OWRN number 184, which is what we're restoring it to. But then it was Oregon Shortline number, I forget now what number, Oregon Shortline. And then Oregon Shortline was acquired by Union Pacific, who had it and used it for a lot of years. And then at some point it ended up on a siding over in Stockton, where vandals got to it, and you're breaking up again.
It was doing that a couple of times, but it comes back. So
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We're trying to restore it to which
We're
state?
trying to restore it to the business car in its early years.
Which would be Oregon
Western Railroad, and that's what it's labeled for on the side. We need
number 184.
184.
So if anybody out there has vintage photos of number 184 of Oregon Western Railroad, send those pictures to me at podcast@tsgmultimedia.com, and I'll be happy to forward them on to Robin so that we can get some prototypical restoration going on.
Sure.
It's kind of a guessing game, right? I mean, you have to figure out what you think would have been there if you don't know.
We know roughly what the floor plan is, the walls, the interior walls. Basically, it has a lounge area at the back end of it by the open end platform. And then it has a secretary's office and bedroom. The bed is one of those type that fold down from the ceiling. The porter would come up and turn a key and it folds down. And then beyond that is a bathroom, a sort of a common bathroom for everybody. And then there is the superintendent's office, or superintendent's bedroom, a common bathroom between the next room, which is the assistant superintendent's bedroom. And then you get into the dining room where we tried to make this from. And then beyond that is the porter and cook's bedroom, and then the kitchen.
Right.
And that's what the car basically. But if you're in the area, please come down. We'll give you a tour and explain it all to you, and you can see what progress we've made. We've got a lot of the wood paneling back up now, at least in about the back end half of it. We're just slowly working through it. There aren't very many volunteers working on it. Myself, a fellow named Lloyd,
right,
and a couple of other people who help now and then, John Dietrich, and so on. But we'll make progress as we have the time.
Yeah, and the point is, it's not just one person, but it's many people as you can get to help. So one of the things I'd like to try to do here on the channel is to sort of plug the SBHRS so that people know that they can come down and work on stuff like that, because there's something about doing stuff with your hands and making progress on it that you can see it, know. And somebody's asking whether or not we could show pictures of the N scale layout and the business car. And there's a very simple answer to that question. I did a layout tour for the channel of the N scale layout here, which Robin was the host for. And then there was also a podcast segment that I've uploaded. I'll put links to this stuff later on when I have time after YouTube processes this video. And you'll see a little link in the upper right corner of the screen that will tell you to click on this, and it'll take you to either the layout tour or to the open house segment that I did for a podcast. What was that, 3 years ago, 2 years ago?
Something like that, yeah.
I think it was 2016. Now, since then, there's been a lot of progress on the business car. So I think it's still worth it for people to come to this, next week or 2 weeks from now, the open house, because something else that's really cool and I'm really looking forward to regarding the open house is my plan is to come down here that morning, and every hour on the hour, probably starting at 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific time, I'm going to upload a video that shows people what's going on here during the open house.
Okay.
So,
that'd be cool.
What I probably will do is I'll go out, to the tower and talk to someone out there about what they're doing. Then upload that as a video. Then I'll come in here to, I haven't decided the order yet, but the idea is to have one short segment for each sort of event, or each, what would you call it?
Sorry, in a sense, a time-lapse video of what's going on.
Kind of, but it won't be sped up or anything.
Right.
It'll be segmented out, right?
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's the plan. So, if you're going to be around, stop in and say hi. Maybe you'll end up on the podcast, or it's not even a podcast. It's like a special event or something like that.
Yeah. We saw a question about when is the open house. So I'm going to let's see if I can get this.
Oh yeah.
So this is the business, the card that shows
the card.
Why am I reading it? Why does it look like it's backwards?
That does that for us. So
it does it for us.
So we don't get confused looking at ourselves.
But this shows you the dates, the times, the cost. Also, our web address is on there.
It is right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on. So you can see it. And in case you don't know where we're actually located, we're located in Santa Clara. And on the back side of this card, we're right near the entrance to Santa Clara University, across the street from it, in the big chocolate brown and pumpkin trim building.
It's an SP depot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you know what a depot looks like, just look for the depot. You can't miss it.
But remember, the colors that it's painted right now are what it was originally painted back when the building was built in 1863 during the Civil War. It's that old. It's 130, 40, 50, I don't know how many. I can't do my math in my head.
155 years old.
155 years old.
So you were there for the original construction, right?
Oh, yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, right.
Pretty soon, people will be asking me that question. Some of the young people out at the layouts right now probably would ask me that question, thinking that they're being real smart, just like I did to you a minute ago.
You always were a smart something or other.
Yeah, I know. You can't say that, though.
Can't say that this
it's a
is
family
GP.
show.
Yeah,
it's a family show. Family show. So you brought something here.
Oh.
I mean, unless do you want to talk more about the open house? I mean, I think
I don't know, unless somebody's got other questions. And if they do, I can bring it up, whatever.
Why don't we do this? We'll do a short question and answer right now. And then we're going to take a look at what Robin brought here. Somebody's asking what's the date of the open house. I think that was on the
card, but it's November 3rd and 4th,
right?
From on Saturday, which is the 3rd, from 10 to 5, and on Sunday the 4th from 10 to 4.
Right.
So, yeah.
Someone's asking now, when is N-Scale Friday coming back? N-Scale Friday comes and goes depending on if I have something to show or not. So right now, I don't have any N-Scale projects to share, and I don't have any new N-Scale products to share, but it will be back. It's just a matter of, when I have something. And if N-Scale Friday doesn't come on and I have HO stuff or some other scale to show, then we do what's called a product spotlight on Friday.
Oh, I thought you would call it HO Scale Friday.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same ring to it. It's just product spotlight, right? So, I mean, I suppose I could do HO Scale Friday, but that sounds kind of goofy to me.
But when is G Scale Friday?
If I ever have G Scale stuff to show, it'll be G Scale Friday. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the answer to that. N-Scale Friday comes and goes based on whether I have something to share. Actually, what we're about to show could be on N-Scale Friday because it's N-Scale.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't I adjust the camera here and you can talk to people about what this is and what you're doing with it.
Okay. It sort of shows it.
Yeah.
Basically, a while back, in fact, we showed you this in one of these events.
We did, didn't we? It was on
a couple of months ago, I guess.
Yeah.
But basically, this is a McKean car and a McKean trailer, passenger trailer that they had. This is an N-Scale, which is no manufacturer's ever made it. The best of my knowledge, the person who made this is etched brass sides and a cast resin roof for them. You can shove it up, whatever you want to do.
Just a little closer.
And maybe we can tilt it a little bit.
I was gonna.
Oops. Well,
I knew that was gonna.
That was a nice idea. It was a nice try.
I'm glad you're still working on it.
Yeah.
If you had tipped that over, and it
but
was
basically,
done, I feel real guilty.
When I have time, you don't have to have the picture anymore. You can have it back to us, whatever. Look at my clumsiness here. Okay, what I started to say is it's etched brass sides and a cast resin roof. The best of my knowledge, after talking with a gentleman named Kirk Reddy, who runs North American N-Scale magazine, I think I got that right. Maybe that's the wrong title for his magazine, but
I think people know about Kirk. So
Kirk, yeah,
they'll know which magazine.
But at the Salt Lake City convention, I was talking to him, and we came to the conclusion we think the original manufacturer of this was a gentleman named Bob Ferris. He used to live in Fresno area. I believe he's passed. He used to make things like this, and this was part of a donation that came into the SBHRS one day. And I decided to take it home and work on building it. Where you see it's at is it's got primer on it, which you put the primer on, it helps show the flaws in the finish. And so now I go in and sand down. I've started to sand down some of the finish. It's not 100% accurate. I mean, the roof vents are not correct for a McKean car, but so what? I'm not a rivet counter. The one thing that is missing at this point you don't see is the front pilot.
Right.
I've either got to have to figure out how to fabricate that myself, or I have a friend who does 3D printing, and he said he would print it. Obviously, it takes a while to get stuff like that done. So I'll get a 3D printed thing.
That would look like a cow catcher up.
Yeah, it looks like a steam engine cow catcher, except it's at a very sharp V shape to it, as opposed to a steam engine. So this is just something I'm working on. The mechanism I had to fabricate, I can show you the bottom a little bit, but well, you can't see, it's all black, so you can't really see it very
Get
well.
it close enough. There you go.
Yeah, I've added some details to it. I can, the motor, if I can get it apart here, it won't come apart.
Well, why don't you get it? Or
there
you go.
Got it.
Cool.
Okay. The motor is a Tomex chassis that you can stretch the thing, but I took a piece of PCB board, printed circuit board, and have made my own new frame and mounted the motor on it. It'll be driven strictly by the motor in the back end. The front is just for electrical pickup. It's experiment as we go along. I'm trying to figure out different things. Like I said, the original sides were just the sides, and I've added extra brass angle iron stuff to strengthen it.
Is that these little pieces down in here?
Yeah, you see those pieces down there. You can see the weight there, which is just floating right now. You need to weight it. You can see where I had to mill out. Oops, I can't.
Yeah, the camera's up here.
Oh, so the camera's up here. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, you can see the sections milled out, so the motor goes up into the roof area. So, just slowly as I go along, eventually it will have a decoder in it. It'll be DCC and lights in it. I got to figure out how to put glass in the windows. Probably some sort of frosted glass, because I don't really want you to be able to see in it and stuff. But it's coming along as we go along. I'm taking pictures, so maybe at some point we'll create a little short what I did to build it.
Sure,
video of it.
This would be a great subject for an N-Scale Friday.
Yeah,
when it's
yes. I got to clean up the current finish on the primer, and then I'm going to do the final paint. It's going to be an olive, a Pullman green type color with gold lettering. This will be an SP prototype. And although I don't believe SP ever had any of these,
they will now.
They will now, yes.
At least on the layout here.
I don't think of the passenger version of the trailer car. They made very many of them. I don't have any. I have research. I haven't been able to find how many were made and who they were sold to. I do know there was a baggage version of this trailer car, but this one happens to be passenger. But it's fun. I like this is what I like doing, is building things like this.
Yeah. And I can, the thing is with this kind of stuff is like, yeah, you can be a rivet counter and you can complain, oh, it has 12 windows and it should have only had 11 and a half windows or something like that.
Yeah.
But in the end, if you enjoy the process and if you enjoy the model when it's finished, who really cares?
And it's so unique. Who's going to really, except for somebody who's really into McKean cars, big time.
I'm sure that there will be McKean
and there will be stuff,
rivet counters. And like, oh no, that's wrong.
And to the best of my knowledge, the real McKean cars, there is the one operating out of the Nevada State Railroad Museum up in Carson City.
Carson City, right?
And that one's beautiful.
It is.
And then there's the Cucamonga, which is, I think I'm pronounced that right. It's down in San Diego.
Okay.
It's a young gentleman, I think he's in his 20s, I can't remember his name, but he found the Cucamonga, which originally was run down in the San Diego area.
Okay.
It was up using a shed up in Alaska, and he's gotten the money and got it brought down to San Diego as restoring. Half the front end is missing. It's really just a shell of a thing. But if he gets the funding, and I'd like to encourage people to donate to him to do it.
Does he have a GoFundMe or something?
I don't know if he has a GoFundMe, but he's got a website. We could look it up and see what it is. I can't remember, but he's slowly trying to restore it and rebuild it, and is going to get it running. There were a number of McKean cars of different lengths. This particular length, this one here, is the 70-footer. And a lot of them were of this length. There were some shorter versions and slightly different configurations interior in terms of the windows and stuff.
Right. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Should have had 11 and a half instead of 12.
I'm not extremely knowledgeable about the McKean cars. I just find them fascinating because they're so unique.
What's cool about this is that is the uniqueness of it, because I know that I have never, other than this one, never seen an N-scale McKean car anywhere.
No, there's never been that I know of anybody. And even I don't know of anybody who's done like a Shapeways 3D printed version of it.
Right.
But now, some of the compromises I've had to make is the real McKean cars, the front truck, which is where the power was, one wheel is a larger diameter than the other one.
How did you model that?
I don't know how you do that.
You can.
I don't know how you can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody really wanted to invest the money and manufacture one, they could do it. I do know there are HO scale McKean cars in brass that have been made over the years. I believe there's at least 2 different manufacturers over the years, not in recent years. And those look really cool. But those don't even be available to see hardly ever. There weren't that many made.
Well, it's kind of an obscure piece of equipment.
Yes.
I would imagine there's a lot of people.
Sure.
If you said McKean car, they wouldn't even know what you were talking about.
Right. McKean cars, don't get me correct on the dates, but originally the first ones were made somewhere in the 1900 and 1910 frame, and then were manufactured up into the 1920s, and some of them were still running into the 1930s. But after that, for the most part, they were scrapped. They were a gas engine driven. A gasoline, well, there were a couple of other different versions of engines driven, but it's such a unique car.
Yeah.
It was used for branch line passenger service to a great extent.
Right. It's almost like the RDC in a way.
Yes. It's a predecessor to the RDCs that you see. Yeah.
Well, very cool.
Okay.
I'm glad you brought it, because we've been kind of following the progress on this on the webcast like this. So it's very cool. So anyway, maybe some more question and answers. Hi, Jack. Maybe some more questions and answers. And I can sit here for a minute toward the end here, because we've been going for a half hour. And maybe some question and answers then. Why not call it Friday Model Scene, so you don't need to be scale specific or similar? That's actually a pretty good idea, Andrew. I hadn't really thought about that. N-Scale Friday came about as a nickname because one of the regular viewers to the channel, and someone who has appeared on the channel in a Chasing Trains episode, used to call product reviews on Fridays N-Scale Friday. So it just kind of stuck. I like the way it sounds. And it's N-Scale Friday, right? It sounds like a party or something.
But I think maybe he's right. Model Friday or Modeling Friday or something.
Yeah.
Might be good.
Maybe we'll change it someday, but for now it's Product Spotlight and N-Scale Friday. And frankly, N-Scale Friday is a product spotlight of N-Scale stuff, usually. So anyway, Kevin says, not quite like Domino's. This is an inside joke. I know who this is, and that was pretty funny. Anyway, I want to apologize for the technical problems that made us start late on this live stream today. I tested it earlier, but not for more than a few minutes, and didn't know that it was going to end up freaking out on us. The stream went sour pretty fast. And, that's why we ended up inside the boardroom here, where people are walking by and we got the little chime going off. Sounds like we're in 7-Eleven or something.
Yeah.
Right. So I think we'll just go now. And thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time to be here, Robin.
Okay, you're welcome, I guess.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say, and the people out there are saying, yes, please go.
Please finish. Yeah, exactly. There goes the 7-Eleven chime again. We'll catch you all next time. Thanks for watching. And don't forget the SBHRS Open House, November 3rd and November 4th. On November 3rd, it's 10 to 5. On November 4th, it's 10 to 4, right here at the Santa Clara Depot at 1005 Railroad Avenue in Santa Clara. See you all there, and see you all next time. Thanks for coming. Going to wait for 20 seconds so I can add a little bit to the end here.
Oh, but nothing's broadcast out at this point.
It is broadcast out at this point. It's just waiting.
But you can edit it out. Oh, okay.
Well, I can't edit it out, so don't start cussing just yet. You ready? I'll tell you when to start cussing.